What's up, everybody? Quick little video here. Yesterday, there was a secret meeting between the top 50 creators in Warzone and Raven Software, and I think Activision, but the Call of Duty team, Raven Software, talking about what's coming up, admitting some fault. I haven't read Call of Duty's blog post about it yet. I watched Iceman Isaac's video. I'll link that down below. I've seen tweets from Charlie Intel as well as Modern Warfare. I got some Charlie Intel articles that we're going to look at too, just to maybe cover some gaps that Call of Duty might not put in their own blog post if I feel there are any gaps. But let's go ahead and just jump into it. Like I said, I haven't looked at this at all. I've just watched Iceman Isaac's video and kind of read some tweets. Call of Duty community update, a Warzone special briefing for our players. As we continue commitment to supporting a healthy and thriving Warzone experience, we are pleased to share some new intel on key community-focused updates, present fixes, and the future vision for our game. The launch of Season 2 of Call of Duty, Vanguard, and Warzone will mark the next step in our ongoing commitment to improving your gameplay experience. This past week, we shared plenty of new content coming this season. However, that is all secondary to our main priority, providing the community with a positive and fun gameplay experience. That comes with improving and fixing what is already released. Season 2, in addition to patches released during its delay and updates to come after its release, is aimed at doing just that. Naturally, we have exciting plans in the works across the franchise this year, but currently the team's focus is strictly on the Warzone experience we're all playing today, addressing current frustrations, and tackling several important requests from our community. These are our current plans. Our priorities for Warzone. The number one priority for our developers is quality of life, making changes that allow Warzone to be more accessible and less frustrating for our community. Examples of this include over 30 improvements coming at Season 2's launch, including improvements in all forms of movement, vehicle handling, parachutes deploying at lower vertical height, increased player mantle height, and collision fixes for both vehicles and players. The gas mask animation no longer interrupting operators who aim down sights. When inserting armor plates, it refills a full plate of armor before filling damage zones. This one's huge, so if you're like 1.5 plates, you go to 2.5 plates instead of 2 plates and wasting that half a plate. The parachute deploying at lower vertical height, we've had a lot of issues where, in fact, I just broke my legs the other day because there's a Bertha parked next to a building, and I jumped over the Bertha, and by the time I was over the Bertha, I was too low to pull my chute, but I was still falling from too high to break your legs. I'm sure we've broken our legs on the side of peak. Now you should be able to pull your parachute at just about any height, and hopefully that means you can cut your parachute in height, so when you cut your parachute and there's someone below you don't just float to your death above them. This, in addition to fixing bugs and issues in Season 2, we are addressing several issues, including the following ones. Performance and streaming issues, including by-station freezes, voice chat connectivity, and distorted graphics across all platforms. I will say voice chat connectivity has been a huge problem for me and my squad members lately, and same with by-station freezes, especially for console players. Specific operators being invisible at certain distances. Blockages to Modern Warfare multiplayer, which is tied to Warzone's launcher. It's funny that it used to be the other way, especially because Warzone used to actually be the little side extra mode to Modern Warfare, and now it's kind of the other way around. The Call of Duty teams across our studios monitor both public community sentiment and every aspect of day-to-day action happening in our game. All that helps us identify issues and address them, and that is on top of what is found in development as it is fixed before it is released publicly. Ultimately, we want to focus on what makes Warzone enjoyable to our community, where gameplay comes first and new features aren't implemented at the cost of stability. Another priority is community communication. This debrief, our blogs, Raven Software patch notes, and the work of our dedicated social media and community management teams are all part of keeping you, the player, informed of what is happening in Warzone, Vanguard, and other Call of Duty games. Addressing top community requests. In addition to performance improvements across all platforms, we have heard the community loud and clear on their other top requests for Warzone. Field of view sliders on console is one of them. Adding field of view on console in Warzone creates major performance impacts for old-gen console players. This is kind of what we all figured. It was more of them trying to almost be fair to the old console players as well as the new-gen console players. And this is an old-gen console game. And the hardware just can't handle it. Our goal is for Warzone to be a performant experience on all platforms, so we don't plan to implement an FOV slider on console at this time. We also understand that we aren't directly speaking to every community request in official communications, but we are reaffirming our commitment to listening to these concerns and ensuring vigorous and beneficial internal discussions that the developers have about them before solutions, whenever possible, are implemented. Season 2 will be the next major step in continuously improving our game experience, and we continue to greatly value the feedback from our community. Future plans. Lastly, we also want to give a peek into what is on the horizon in 2022 for Call of Duty. The team is excited to confirm some additional news below. Stay frosty, friends. This year's Call of Duty is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, so it's going to be Modern Warfare 2, of course. This new game and a new Warzone experience are designed together from the ground up. So that means we are getting a new engine for the new multiplayer, as well as Warzone 2 when it comes will be built up from the ground using this new engine from this new Modern Warfare game. So that's nice, because even though I still think the Infinity Ward 2019 engine is the best between Cold War, and I even think when they tweaked it for Vanguard, it still feels a little bit better in Warzone and within Modern Warfare. It does start to feel dated, and I'm glad that they're going to be giving us a brand new engine, especially because that means so many things that have plagued Warzone will hopefully be gone in Warzone 2. Expect a massive evolution of Battle Royale with an all-new play space and a new sandbox mode. Sandbox mode is interesting. It gets used in a lot of different ways. There was Halo 3's Forge. That was a sandbox mode because you could build wherever you wanted. And then there's the term of sandbox mode where, Battlefield's sandbox mode where everything is destroyable. So I doubt it's going to be like a Forge type mode. I'm sure it'll be more if things are destroyable. And if buildings are destroyable, it'll be so nice to get rid of people camping in buildings. If you think someone's there, just shoot through the wall, destroy the wall, blow up the building, whatever. A new engine powers both new Call of Duty game releases and Warzone, as I touched on from the ground up. And development of both new Call of Duty and the Warzone experience is being led by Infinity Ward. Warzone was at its absolute best when Infinity Ward was leading, back when it was Modern Warfare. And it was kind of a side project to Modern Warfare. And then they let Raven take over, and I'm not blaming Raven because Infinity Ward still had a hand. The other studios still helped touch it, but ever since Raven took over, it just hasn't felt like the same game, and that all started kind of with the Cold War integration, where Warzone felt like it was starting to go downhill. So that's good news. From there, we're going to touch a little bit. We're going to just go through some stuff that they didn't mention here that was an Iceman Isaacs video that I said will be linked down below, as well as the Charlie Intel posts. I'll have those linked down below, and also the Call of Duty blog post for you to check out yourself. Here we have major Warzone quality of life updates in Season 2, armor plates, stuns, and more. So there's some stuff that they didn't touch on here. It said that Warzone has suffered under the weight of bugs and glitches. Players left frustrated and demanding change. In call press conference with creators, developers from Activision Infinity Ward and Raven declared they were embarrassed and not happy with the state of the game and stated they were determined to right those wrongs. And then it says Raven confirming major patch will include 30 quality of life improvements, as Call of Duty touched on in their blog post. Here's kind of a breakdown that's a little bit more easy to understand than what Call of Duty put out. It gives you a little more detail. Traversal improvements, increased mantle height and collision fixes. So that means, high rocks you'll be able to jump on easier. Hopefully you'll be able to move around the map like the super soldiers were supposed to be. And so collision fixes, they aren't just for people, they're going to be for vehicles too. So hopefully you're not running over a small bush or trying to run through a small bush and you're crashing on the little stem, or you're stubbing your toes on the little stem in the bottom of it. Gas mask animation won't interrupt a player who is aiming down sights. Hopefully that also means if you ADS, you can cancel it, but I could see them not wanting to do that because then you could just cancel it whenever you wanted. And that could be broken, and it would create a skill gap, but it'd be something that casual players might not even notice. Armor plates, refills full armor plate before filling damage plates. Vehicles handling and a reduction in collision of world geometry. Like I said, you won't your vehicle won't get stopped by little small plants, and hopefully it's really the Bertha handling that we're thinking of. And by the way, what happened to motorcycles, speaking of handling? Those would actually be great, I think, in Caldera. Parachute improvements, including being able to deploy them at a lower vertical height. Restrictions, dead silence, and stun grenades removed from Vanguard Royale. Hopefully that leads its way into Battle Royale and Rebirth modes as well. But it's nice to see them starting to remove some things that are kind of broken. Stun fix, aim assist now scales appropriately. Won't increase aim assist strength. I didn't even know it increased aim assist strength. I guess logically that makes sense. If you can aim assist through slower movement, it increases its strength. But it should just disable aim assist, or at least keep it at the same rate. So I'm glad that's happening. Nerfs, they're nerfing fighter planes and gasoline canisters. They touched on the Season 2 roadmap article or blog post that they were going to nerf fighter planes. Hopefully gasoline canisters don't automatically blow up a vehicle, or it takes a couple bullets to hit them. Buffs, they're buffing the anti-air cannons. If you play Vanguard Royale, it's kind of hard to shoot down planes and stuff with those, so that's good. Final circle, less likely to end on peak. That's huge. It sucks when somebody who camped out on peak or rotated peak early just has all these rocks and all this high ground looking down the slopes, just dominating you, and there's no real way up. There are some quality of life changes currently scheduled for Season 2.5, which include downed, able to control resurrect state, prone versus crouch. Now, I don't know if that's the person standing or when you are rezzed, if you are able to stay prone or if you crouch. Gas mask, ability to drop, that's huge. If somebody wants to make a gas play, they don't have a mask. Maybe you don't want to make the gas play, you can drop it for them. And then armor. Pick up armor from another satchel. So, if you have an empty satchel, you kill somebody, they drop that one plate that everyone drops when they die, but then they're out of plates, and you can't pick up the new satchel and gain 8 plates. So either you'll be able to pick up the new satchel, gain 8 plates, or you'll be able to run through it and get some kind of plates. So that's great, too. There's no release date set for Season 2.5. Of course, Infinity Ward and Raven Software are already looking towards the future and have confirmed Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. That's the end of that article. Here's just a little... We're not going to go over this too much, but Warzone devs admit game is broken and promise to fix it. So this is big news. Sometimes we feel like they are out of touch with the community, but this kind of shows that they are in touch with the community. As the last Charlie Intel article said, they understand that we're frustrated with console issues, buy station freezes. And they said, this is a quote, the trio bluntly stated, "We fucked stuff up," but made promise that these would be addressed throughout the year. Bridge admitted they were not happy with the state of Warzone. And they learned the upper limits of their technology. So that's great. They're admitting that they made mistakes, that, the software is not good enough. That's huge for a big dev studio. And I know Raven themselves aren't big, but they're part of Activision. So big devs to come out and say, yeah, we fucked this up. We botched this. And that's huge. And they said, Infinity Ward's Pat Kelly said that Warzone was originally built solely as an addition to 2019 Modern Warfare, but after its incredible success, they wanted to incorporate it into future COD titles. So we kind of have figured that out already on our own, but it's nice for them to admit that. This caused significant development challenges. So really it was for Modern Warfare 2019's engine. It wasn't meant to have all these guns added, all these different operators, a new big map. All the stuff that they've added were not intended. So even though it's really buggy for it to just work as well as it has and for them to be able to make the changes they have, and even though we've got a lot of bugs fixed, I do applaud them for that. They had a lot of development challenges that were significant, as they stated, but they were still able to add new content to the game and make it work enough that they've maintained some player base. This left Warzone in a state of limbo, with saying it didn't feel like Modern Warfare anymore, nor did it feel like Black Ops. This bloated state made it even harder to find bugs and patch them quickly due to how much was going on in the game at one time. While the three were very candid in the issues facing the game, they were also hopeful of the future and promised that they were determined to fix the issues of the game after using social sentiment and crash-related reports to track problems. Encouragingly, they also emphasized they plan to provide better communication, which they have been already doing a better job, so even better is huge, with their fan base about fixes for issues while focusing more on quality of life improvements rather than just new features all the time. That's huge. All this new content they keep adding, I don't want it. I just want the game to play well, and then add new content, so that's big. Let's see. And then Warzone devs confirmed plans to add ranked mode. This is huge. Hopefully, the biggest part will mean removing SBMM from just general pubs. Battle Royale games are competitive by nature, with Apex Legends, Fortnite, and Warzone all having a thriving esports scene. However, unlike the others, Warzone doesn't have a specific ranked play mode where trials can compete to climb ranks and earn rewards. With the success of Iron Trials, players have been desperate for Raven Software to add a dedicated ranked mode. In a call with content creators and the press, the devs revealed they want to include a ranked mode, but it's down to the timing of it. Call of Duty Vanguard will be receiving its ranked mode with February 14th Season 2 update, allowing players to play like the pros, climb ranks, and earn rewards. Warzone fans have been begging the devs to add one. Game director Josh Bridge revealed they wanted to include one in the future. Speaking to content creators in the press on February 10th, Bridge confirmed, "We want to do ranked right, but they need to consider the timing of it." Bridge reiterated that they want to do it right and they don't want to come out and do it broken. So I'm thinking, with Warzone 2 coming out within maybe the next year, I'm thinking it's no worse than like the spring, hopefully. They might just wait and say, hey, it might be really hard to implement it. As I already touched on, with all the extra content they added, it's harder to find bugs. So they might just focus on fully optimizing this game for the rest of its life cycle and then adding ranked in Warzone 2, which I'd be fine waiting if they're going to make ranked done correctly and as perfect as they can do it. And if it means just quality of life and we sacrifice stuff like ranked, I'm good with it. They've been extremely candid about the state of Warzone towards the end of Pacific Season 1, saying they fuck stuff up, so it sounds like they would only release Ranked if it's the best state of possible. As for Ranked play release date, Bridge couldn't offer one, explaining that I just don't have a place in the calendar for it, and that timing is critical and they need to weigh the amount of uplift versus other features. Whether Ranked play will arrive in Warzone Pacific or Modern Warfare 2 new Warzone experience remains to be seen, but it's encouraging to know that it's on the developer's mind. And then just Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 officially confirmed, built on brand new engine. We kind of already touched on this. I don't know if there's going to be any details from Charlie Intel that we didn't already have. Kelly stated it should be obvious that they're working on the game after the huge success of 2019 Modern Warfare. That's for Modern Warfare 2. This game will be built on a brand new engine, which the company has been working on for years as Infinity Ward looks to improve players' experience on all platforms. Kelly didn't give an exact release date for Modern Warfare 2, but did state the game would release in fall 2000. 2022. So probably the normal time, October, November, somewhere in there. There's been speculation that it would release early because Vanguard didn't sell well, but Vanguard's numbers have been competitive the last couple months. They've been either the number 1 or number 2 selling game the last month or two, I believe. New Warzone experience built on Modern Warfare 2 engine. We already touched that. Claims the new experience will be disruptive and a massive evolution of Battle Royale. On top of that, the Infinity Ward creator teased it will feature an incredibly ambitious sandbox mode, although they declined to elaborate any further on this. Neither Infinity Ward nor Raven gave any indication of release date for New Warzone experience. Considering it's built on Modern Warfare 2's engine, it will likely be seen at some point during the Modern Warfare 2's life cycle. So what I'm thinking is it's probably going to come out in 2023, and it'll be around the 3-year anniversary is what I'm guessing. It'll probably be, hey, we're so glad you lived Warzone for 3 years. Here's the new Warzone. That all being said, if you stuck through all this and you're watching my video instead of the big creators that got to be part of it, I really appreciate you watching it. As I say at the end of all my videos, even if you just click through and kind of skip through, get bits and pieces of information, I appreciate any watch time, any interaction with the video. I really, really do appreciate it. With that being said, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more. I haven't uploaded like I did towards the end of Cold War Warzone. I want to get back to that. I really do enjoy it. So please hit that notification bell for more because I will be trying to upload more in the future. But as always, everything that I go over will be linked down below, including Iceman Isaac's video on it. It's my favorite creator. And I got some of my thoughts and processes from watching his video as well as reading his articles, which will all also be linked down below, along with all my social media. So please go ahead and check out all of that. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you on Caldera and Rebirth Island. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.